All right. I am unbogable. Welcome to KUTV Rise Today. That's the kind of psych we are starting this day with. Who can bogo you? You should ask yourself that throughout the week if you want to have a successful one and be unbogable in all the aspects of your life. Welcome to Biashara Tuesday. This is hashtag Biashara Tuesday, the place where you get all the relevant conversations in matters of money, finance, politics, business, the economy, and a bit of technology here and there. We try and cover as much as possible through your social economic structure. Where are you losing money? Where are you making money? I have to begin with a bunch of good news this morning. I think let's try and change the tone because we are trying to create success, and therefore manifesting it in our minds is one of those ways we can do that. One of those people who've manifested it is Willis Raburu, the media personality who's now been awarded 6.5 million Kenyan shillings towards a trademarked name, Bazu, B-A-Z-U, which he did trademark, and unawares to Airtel, now they find themselves in hot soup after a court ordered them to pay him 6.5 million plus damages for using of that name in a campaign. Therefore, content creators and people out there who have the best words, comedians, trademark your words, trademark your phrases. You never know who might want to use it, and then you cash in. Over in the UK, in Brighton, a student from Kenya has won a grant worth 7 million Kenyan shillings to build a nightclub and a DJing spot in Kenya. This was a competition by Yaga in which it had 500 submissions and 30 of them shortlisted, but that one by the university student was able to win 7 million Kenyan shillings, approximately 50 to 60 thousand pounds. That is now translating to 7 million Kenyan shillings. What this means is that he is able now to set up this DJing space for young people, and then it transforms at night to a nightclub. It's a mobile project which he has been working on for a while with the help of his university professors. Makes you wonder if there is a university professor in Kenya who can help out a student in coming up with a project that is taking care of the nightlife. But it's interesting to see that this new generation is also coming up with some innovative ways of making money within the spaces in which they are having fun. So that's quite something to think about. The President of the Republic will definitely be showing up in the discussions here this morning, and his whole KK administration. We're taking a look at what are the efforts the government is coming up with in trying to mitigate the harsh times that are currently being experienced or have been experienced for a while now. Some relief. Consumer electricity prices have dropped by about a shilling per unit for the past 1 month, and are expected to continue to drop for the next few months. So you can breathe a sigh of relief. It seems for a while there might be a turnaround or a bit of a relief in that tight times or those tight times we've had in the past few months, maybe 2 years if we are being honest with the situation that we find ourselves in. The shilling to the dollar also steadily gaining, and the dollar has been dropping. Currently, the rate averagely across the trading centers or the forex bureaus that you will visit, you will be buying the dollar at, or they are buying the dollar at 135 shillings to 139 and selling it at around 140 to the mid 140s. This is a sharp drop from what it was a few weeks back at 165 and going to breach that 170 mark. Oil and fuel prices have been dropping for the past few months, and currently also they dropped in the last review by EPRA by about 2 to 3 Kenyan shillings, and we're hoping in the next review, if we do see this, definitely those are smiles in the faces of very many Kenyans. The government is also internally lauding its own efforts in towards mitigating the harsh effects of alcohol and drug abuse. Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, the wife to the Deputy President, has been spearheading this fight, and also in assistance from the Deputy President, who has received quite some support from the President of the Republic himself. This month is the month where many corporates, non-governmental organizations, and also the government tries to celebrate women. It has been International Women's Day last week on Friday, and this month is International Women's Month. Discussions around inspiring inclusivity within the spaces in which we exist in for women, but also women, also inspiring inclusivity in across all the spheres of society. So this is being looked at by the president himself, who says maybe into the future we should have a rule that states if you're going for the top seat in government, that is the presidency, you need to have your running mate as a female if you're a man, or vice versa. If you have a female running as president, then the running mate should be a man, therefore creating that kind of balance in the top 2 seats where we have both genders represented. What does this mean to Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? Maybe towards 2027, there might be a turnaround in that political card, and therefore expecting that there will be seen cracks here and there as we head out towards the next presidential or towards the next general elections. But that's way far off. This year, we're taking a look at the presidential elections in the United States. President Trump is back in the media and also back trying to get himself, of course, into the top seat once more. How will this affect political dynamics all across the world? And how does this affect us as Kenyans? You should be tuning into this show where the political discussions happen, and then we highlight that and how it affects you in whatever place or region you are, whether you're in Kisii or Kaptagat or in whichever corner of the world. All these political dynamics, of course, are a big force in how the economy is affecting you. That's what we're about here on Biashara Tuesday and other conversations. So please do let us know where you're tuning in from and what you'd like to see discussed here on the show. However, I never do this alone. As always, I have a couple of guests here to help me look at various key issues in the economy, also in the areas in which they are experts, so that you can learn and see how we apply this in our day-to-day. This morning, we're looking at more on that inspiring inclusivity, but this time round with matters of disability. Here within Kenyatta University, the Disability Awareness Day is going to be marked on 15th of March 2024. And the discussion this time round is how to ensure that we are inspiring inclusion within the spaces of higher education, so that we are ensuring economic prosperity is also getting to people who are living with disabilities. What can we do in terms of policy, in terms of infrastructure, and all the discussions and conversations which are being held in spaces of higher learning and in sports as well, because it's in high institutions where activities of sports and nurturing of that nature are happening. I'm having a discussion with a professor from Kenyatta University and also another member of the fraternity who's taking care of matters of sports. So you want to be tuned in to that conversation, which will be coming up later on. It is the age of AI. Artificial intelligence is permeating every space that we are in. In whichever way you're making a living, there's a way that AI can be integrated. But you also need to look at regulations. How can it be taken a look at to ensure that there is equality and equity even as we apply AI in every place that we are in? How is AI being used in delivery of justice? Wakili AI is one of those ways that is happening, and have the gentlemen who are behind this innovation as well to let us know how you can access justice in a way that will help you and in a way that is affordable through technology. So please tune in for that. Give me any questions that you have in matters of AI. I will also be speaking to a columnist who has been looking at this and also having a highlight of how that regulation and policy framework is being implemented across the world, of course, and how Kenya will come to play. So tune in for that and send me any questions you have across social platforms at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_OKENYE. Right about now, what is happening on those roads, traffic updates coming to you, and then we'll be back with all those conversations and also to look at what you guys are saying on the social platforms. Once more, welcome to Biashara Tuesday. Let's have fun. All right, so this is what's up in the city in terms of transport and traffic conditions for Nairobi. Kenya's border nightmare. There's a 2008 law that sees 1,000 that saw a 1,000% jump in the units which are being sold in terms of border, and that's why you're seeing a lot of border every single place within the republic. This law, which was of course implemented, as I said there, back in 2008, is what has led to the proliferation of borders. Is this still a menace, is what Kenya West is asking here on Twitter. Also here there's a Crown bus which has been used to apparently launder money, according to a report on here on Twitter, and saying that they are offering logistical support to a terror group. Quite a serious allegation which has been leveled here, and EAC is tagged. They're saying that it's based within Nairobi branch and have been working together in planning investment projects and money laundering within the republic. He's published here and tagged the counter-terrorism police KE to have a look at this Crown bus. That's some quite serious information there, and let's see what the counter-terrorism group within the police service will be looking at there. Ken, how we need some lighting. This is in Bukungu Stadium or Catholic Mall, and they're saying, Governor Fernandez, I know you can do it. So those are people from the western region of the republic, there specifically Bukungu Stadium, saying that they need more lighting in that area, and Governor Barasa should be having a look at that. Super Metro responding to an issue from the public last week in terms of indiscipline and gross misconduct on the road, saying they promised to take action on the crew that was involved in tarnishing their reputation. Clearly, social media does work, so if you have any complaints on the roads this morning in how the matatus are behaving, gross misconduct, do tag the relevant circles. Good thing is these days they're also trying to get online. They have social media accounts, and therefore you can use that exactly to tag them and NPS officials in case you see anything that is pointing towards gross misconduct on those roads. Dennis Mungai and there's something incredibly wrong with this stretch at the Thika flyover. It's been barely a day since another car lost control on this descent and has confirmed there is casualty there. This is 14 hours ago. A truck has lost control and hit the middle road wall barrier at the Blue Post as it headed towards Muranga on Thika Road, blocking way there. And apparently from Dennis Mungai, there's been reports where it's been barely a day and then another car lost control and descended there into the river. So NTSA and Kenya, please do consider studying this and putting it as a black spot, or at least ensuring that necessary measures have been done there. Kenya Power, your team is doing a great job in making sure power is restored along the Kenneth Matiba Road, and the fallen pole is back up. Make sure it is easy for the team to get extra hands on crowd control and proper of lifting tools, because it's creating a lot of traffic snarl up there. As they do their work, they're being commended, but to ensure they have extra hands to deal with crowd control and traffic snarl up. Never put your feet on the dashboard of a moving car. Beware. So that's something that's being told to all the passenger princesses. Please don't put your feet on the dashboard for any Instagram posts or any form of enjoyment. That's not safety on the road. From my vantage point at the Donholm interchange, Outer Ring Road is moving smoothly on both sides. Slight traffic on the junction into Manyanja and Savannah roads, lakini nothing much to complain. So kama unaelekea hizo sides or coming from Donholm towards Outer Ring Road, kuko sawa except at the junctions. There was a fire incident which was reported 12 hours ago at Langata Women's Prison in Nairobi. If you are aware of what is happening there, any rescue teams which have been activated, please do let us know. And any developments as of this morning. That's 12 hours ago, midnight, that was reported incident of fire at Langata Women's Prison. Thika Road, kunakaa salama sana. Ngong Road Junction Mall, traffic at Ngong Road Junction Mall, which is caused by vehicles dropping students at Makini schools. How many students could those be to create traffic snarl up at Junction Mall? Do let us know, but that's what Kipson Kirui anasema. Watu wa Makini School, jamaneni mnatukosia traffic hapo hivyo Junction Mall. Here, good morning from the sky. Mathri route. This is Kenya Airways Dreamliner landing at the Heathrow Airport. Magical Kenya. Where are the big 5 which are supposed to be painted on the outside of any Kenya Airways Dreamliner? Apparently, the Pride of Africa doesn't have those big 5. So Magical Kenya, please have a look at that. Speaking about the skies, City Hopper number 208. We have a Makanga preaching on board while still doing his job. This is quite commendable. Never seen that before. I appreciate him. So City Hopper number 208. Apparently there's a Makanga who's still in his day job part-time, preaching while also collecting fare throughout. I wonder whether that's yoni fare na collect ama ni sadaka. How do you draw the line when it comes to that? So those are the traffic updates we have for you this morning. Weather updates, what you can expect, it's clear right now, 15 degrees Celsius, and it's going to be lows of 8 degrees Celsius. What are we expecting in the next 5 days? This is what I have in the regions that I'm at. It is going to be sunny and nice. It's going to be a good feel of 30 degrees Celsius. Sunny and nice today. Wednesday also, it's going to be sunny, so you can proceed with whatever activities you have planned for the week. Actually, throughout the week, there's no expectations of rain in the forecast that I have here, but keep checking, and also do dress warmly, or do dress lightly actually, because it's going to be sunny throughout the week all the way to Friday. No expectations of rain. That's what we have in traffic and weather updates here on KUTV Rise Today's Biashara Tuesday. Stay tuned for the conversations that are coming up in a short while. We are actually going to begin with matters of inclusivity. As I said earlier, I'm going to hint you on what that conversation is going to look like and who the guests are, so tune in for that insight. Right, access to justice. That's actually the theme of the conversations that we are going to have here. Access to justice in terms of the law. How do you get represented? How do you get awareness in terms of the cases that are facing you, the laws of the republic, the regulations, and any times that you're in loggerheads with the law, how do you access justice? And then the other conversation, how do people who are living with disabilities access economic justice? So that's what we are going to be discussing here this morning. But in matters of the law, Wakili AI is something that you should be looking at throughout your browsers. So type out Wakili AI. This is going to be a technology, or this is a technology that's bridging gap in the legal world. The idea is to democratize justice. People who are far off cannot receive the necessary representation. How are they made aware? How do they get this in a language that they understand? This is what Wakili AI has been trying to do since 2023, when it began, and trying to, of course, imagine what we can do and impact every other Kenyan beyond borders in terms of legal boundaries. From February of 2023, Wakili AI has done a total of 63,000 plus consultations, and that's just within 3 months of launch. Right now, we are going to have that discussion here on the show with the VP of Wakili AI, Collins Mwangi, who would let us know how the numbers are looking like right about now, and how can you use it, in which ways can you get to harness this. It isn't just for B2C, they're also doing B2B. It's not just business, them to any other person who wants consultation services, but also to businesses and to other firms which might need this kind of legal information or legal resource. In what ways are they availing this, and how can it be regulated, given that AI is also quite a sensitive conversation when it comes to the merits and the moral discussions which are around that. So tune in for that conversation with the VP of Wakili AI. Sheria mkononi, literally right at the palm of your hands with your phone or with your computer. That's something that we're going to have here a discussion on, and also a bit of technology in matters of regulation and implementation. The theme on this 14th Kenyatta University Disability Awareness Day, which is going to be held on the 15th of March 2024, is empowering people with disabilities through inclusive higher education for economic success. How do we demolish the educational walls which are there? We're going to have a scrutiny into the ways in which institutions can implement effective inclusive practices to ensure that people who are living with disability within their institution are getting access, of course, and not and also paving the way for their full participation in their academic success. But beyond the school system and beyond the walls of the institution, how do they access economic justice outside of the academic journey after they graduate from university? How do they get this economic prosperity in the places they are post-graduation? So we're going to focus also in how empowering of these people who are living with disabilities can be done in the workplace. So if you're a person with business and have people who are living with disability, how can you ensure inclusion and also break those walls which are there within the workplace? Forging of policy pathways. What can be done within the discussions we're having in policy framework to ensure also this inclusion is something that is entrenched within the law and something that must be, not should be, implemented. That conversation is being held here with the director of Riziki Source. Kennedy Okongo is an exceptional expert in matters of disability and has been renowned in this role for over 14 years. Has done a lot of research and has work experience in working with people who are living with disability. How are they doing that? How are they doing it within Riziki Resource, and how can we tailor this and promote inclusivity within the spaces of work, academy, and also in matters of research? As we said, DAD will look across all those aspects, from education to post-graduation and as well as within policy. And to bring us that conversation within the education framework and also within sports is Dr. Florence Gitau, who's Director of Sports and Games at Kenyatta University. She's going to let us know, of course, also within the area of sport, how are we ensuring that people who are living with disability are also participating fully and ensuring they're getting success in sports and also in economic matters. Biashara Tuesday is bringing you all these conversations to your couch, wherever you're sitting at, enjoying your morning beverage. Do let us know how you'd like to participate, any questions that you have at KUTV Kenya on all social platforms. At Richard_Okenye is how you tag me on my personal ones, and then we'll be looking at that throughout all the way to 10 in the morning. Stay tuned, have fun. Let me take a short break and I'll be back.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyedhia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Naweza sasa hii nimekuja kukopesa choo.
From the farm to the consumer, we explore agribusiness opportunities right here with you.
Changamoto lingine ni soko. Soko saa ingine bei inashuka tu drastic, kama saa hii hoho imeshuka chini.
On Money Monday, we explore business stories and engage business professionals as reference points for analyzing investment opportunities.
Last year, the economy grew by 4.8%. Which is really an indication of the resilience of the economy.
If we don't grow the economy, then we cannot have economic transformation.
We shall bring you up to speed with everything taking center stage in the business world and the state of the nation. Join me, Ann Odida, every Sunday and Monday for captivating, entertaining, and informative stories at 9 p.m.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Dunia ni leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Young and old are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Technovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a
a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
This is your first time?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared, but I can do this.
Yeah.
Mess with me. Yeah, let's do this, man.
Badala ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi wale hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila woga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi. Hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
All right, Disability Awareness Day, 15th of March 2024. It's going to be celebrated within the Kenyatta University, and we're bringing you that conversation here on the show. And I'm joined by Dr. Florence Gitau, who's the Director of Sports and Games at Kenyatta University. We're looking at inclusivity within the realm of sports, but also joining me in matters of employment, inclusive employment, and has been an advocate of disability awareness for years now. Is going to be Mr. Kennedy Okongo, the director of Riziki Source. So this conversation is coming to you right now, and prepare any questions that you have on social media at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_OKENYE. 15th of March is when that conversation is going to be held within Kenyatta University. So if you're within the fraternity, within this institution, give up for that and ask any questions in how you can participate and also be involved in this conversation. So we're celebrating Disability Awareness Day for that day today here on this show, so you can join us as well in starting that celebration already. And let me introduce the leading figures for this conversation and allow them to do justice to their own introduction before, of course, we get into in-depth of this conversation. I'll begin with my very near left, Dr. Gitau. Please do let our audience know about you, and also maybe a little bit about your department within Kenyatta University.
Thank you very much for that. My name is Dr. Florence Gitau. I am the Director of Sports and Games at Kenyatta University. I'm also a lecturer in the Department of Recreation and Sport Management. And at the department, we offer units to do with the disability sports. And at the Directorate of Sports and Games, we serve all the students, the community, the Kenyatta University community in matters sport. And we are an inclusive department. We take care of the needs of everybody in Kenyatta University community, including those living with disability. And we have several programs for them. We have what we call the intramurals, where the students participate within the universities and they compete amongst themselves. And mostly we offer sports for recreation. We offer sports for leisure and recreation. We offer it for health and fitness. And we have the elite performers who compete outside Kenyatta University, within the university's conference, and without. Outside, we take part in East Africa University Games, the Africa University Games, and we also take part in international, which we call FISU, Federation of International Sports Universities. And at all this level, we are expected to have sports for everybody, competitive sports. Our students take part in the university's championship. We've just come back from celebrating the Women International Day, and we had sports which were held in Egerton University over the weekend. And we took with us our goalball team, and they competed against Maseno University, and they performed quite well.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to them. And we've been actually following up on matters of sports on this show, even with FISU, as you said, the university football team, the Hockey's Titans, and Vultures as well. So it's good to hear that inclusivity is still happening within the spaces that we've been highlighting. So I think congratulatory message to you and your department within Kenyatta University. Mr. Kennedy Okongo, Riziki Resource, Action Network for the Disabled, UNDP Disability Awards. I mean, there's a lot to speak about you, so please, you can also do justice to that introduction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, it is Riziki Source.
Yeah.
Not Riziki Resource.
Or Riziki Source.
People make the same mistake as they make with my
Okong.
name. But thank you for extending the invitation to me here.
Yeah.
Riziki Source is a social enterprise working to promote the employment of persons with disabilities. My name is Kennedy Okongo. I work for the organization as the director of programs, not the director, as it indicated in the poster, director of programs. Riziki Source came into being after clearly assessing the situation of the disabled persons in relation to employment. There was a challenge and there was a gap there. Riziki Source is being run by people with lived experience in the world of job search. And the challenges they went through informed the birth of that organization to kind of provide a platform to mitigate some of those adverse effects that persons with disability face in line of job search. We have been in existence for around 8 years now. And part of what we do is working with employers to inform them on how best they should purpose to be inclusive, providing them with tips on how to become inclusive, working with persons with disability themselves to promote them to be self-confident, self-assertive, believe in themselves, work hard, move away from tokenism, to be actually champions of claiming for rights. Those are some of the things that we try to do, and in partnership with different stakeholders. We partner with institutions, we partner with employers, we partner with unions, we partner with donors who fund the activities, and through that we have been able to develop an app called the Riziki Source app that helps persons with disability to register in a database. That database currently has a total of around 1,500 plus persons with disability in search of job opportunities. This was trying to address the problem of lack of visibility on the part of qualified candidates with disability. Employers were telling us outside there, where are these people? We don't get them. So we decided to come up with that platform for them to register, so that we do now bidding on their behalf. We tell the employers, now we have a pool here with these qualifications. If you need any of them, reach out. We supply with the CVs, do your interviews, provide the opportunity based on your own assessment after carrying out the interviews. Yes, in summary, that is a brief about Riziki Source.
Job seekers are a very key group of people that you're looking at in Riziki Source. That's great. So before we get even more into Riziki Source, of course, and the conversation on Disability Awareness Day, I want us to begin with terminologies, which is also a good way in trying to create awareness and inclusivity. When it comes to, I remember back, the phrase then was, disability is not inability. And I think we did that enough. I'm not sure if it's enough times, you can correct me if it reached the impact that was necessary. But within the spaces that I operate in, at least now it is quite clear that disability and inability are completely two different worlds. And now we have people living with disabilities, with disability. But also we have people who are, we have a phrase which is people who are abled differently. And that's what we are trying to bring forth to the general public in the conversations they're having. Why is it relevant that we also have a look at the language in itself? What is the kind of impact this has? If we can begin with you, and then I get Dr. Gitau to chime in.
Yeah, I think terminologies play a key role in determining how to relate with persons. People are created with different temperaments. People are not the same. There's somebody who will accept this, somebody will not accept the other. The term you have used, person living with disability, it is used a lot, but it turns out to offend other people. To live with, it means that it's part of you. now not appearing as a condition that came to distort your usual self. You see? Yeah, so it is used a lot to an extent that now people think it is the best way, but we would prefer a term like person with. With. You are a person first with
disability,
that other condition.
Okay.
You're getting that? But person living with is part of you, kwa nyumba, wapi, you see, you know, something like that. Yeah, so, and there is somebody who will pick some fault with that. Yeah, but people, most of the times, mean well when they're having this kind of conversations. Even you, as you have just used the term, you mean very well, I know it.
Well.
Yeah, but you'll find somebody that, hey, I know mkono za hizo. Hapana, nini, something. And then, of course, the other J, person with disability, wako na tempers, doing nini. That is also
feeding into that.
That's another era as well. Yeah, people, we come across that a lot. People say, no, simply because people expect you to behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
That when now you behave in a different manner, they look at your condition first.
Yeah,
with your condition, why are you also behaving this way?
It's like causation. It's
yes,
like that's what.
It means why. Now the disability has taken over you. That now you have lost your life.
Yeah.
You have a life.
But
plus,
somehow.
Yes. But you see, you are a person first,
and
then other things. There is nothing that disability does to you that changes what God created in you. You see?
Yeah.
Of course, there are those differences of how you have been handled from birth, things like that. It even happens to other cases. You have a girl who was maybe sexually abused while young. She tends to grow up in a certain way, having dislike for certain things. You see? Yeah, such conditions. There are also people with disabilities who went through a lot in life that came to torment their minds, things like that. So somebody may acquire a certain trait, not because of disability, but because of the environmental factors that he or she was subjected to.
Okay.
The general society will say, anafanya hivi sababu ya ulemavu. That is an error. Yeah, we need to get it.
Okay.
You find a nice person with disability, you also find another wayward one. The same way you'll find a nice person and another wayward person. Yeah, that one needs to come to light.
Right.
Yeah.
Daktari, in trying to combat these assumptions and, creating awareness, what role do you think the terminologies, from your own point of view, what role do they play?
Yeah, terminologies can really have an effect on persons. Because if people keep telling you you are this, you tend to behave the way they talk about you. But what we have learned with the experiences we have had with the students who are living, but my colleague here says we should not say people living with disability. People with disability is that they are all talented just like anybody else. It is true they are first human, and then they have talents. And these talents, it's just like the talents that are given in the general population. So you find somebody who is very good in an activity like chess. We have very, very good chess players from among this population. And until we give them an opportunity, they come and compete amongst themselves and even amongst the other general population. Then they may tend to still feel like they're inferior to them. But once they compete and they shine, then that promotes their self-confidence, self-esteem. And it will make them go out and try other things. It is true what my colleague here is saying about experiences, what somebody went through during childhood will have an effect on the personality of people as they grow. And so even among these people, this is a special population as in our, I don't know whether it is right to call them that, but when we discuss in a class, in the classroom setting when we are teaching, we talk about sports for different groups. And this is a special population. We have sports for the aged, for the senior citizens, something like that.
Yeah.
And we want to give equal opportunities to everybody. And then we tap on whatever each person has. So what we are saying is that they are gifted differently.
Yeah.
But this stigma, there are these stereotypes that bring about stigma. And this is one thing we are trying to get rid of in sports.
Yeah.
Because when we compete at par, like in chess, as I'm saying, chess and Scrabble, especially that one can be, it's done very well by students who are living with hearing impairment. But when they play Scrabble, they play it and they play it very well. And we are saying that also brings out who they are, the talents that they have. So the talents are given equally to everybody in the population. The fact that one has a disability does not mean that they cannot be able to excel in a certain sport.
Yeah.
They do excel and they do very well.
Right.
Yeah, so we only need to give them opportunity, support them, and then they come out their best.
Definitely.
We have seen that work.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that stigma is reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
in sport.
while we are still on opportunities, I think I'll still pick that up with you.
Yes.
There are, of course, very many challenges when it comes to athletes accessing sports opportunities, given how mainstream most of the sports are, and very little access given with athletes with disabilities. But now within Kenyatta University, because you're trying to shine a light on what you're doing within Kenyatta University, as we see if this can be adopted across, what are some of the successful maybe adaptive sports programs or initiatives within Kenyatta University that have taken care of athletes with disabilities?
Well, we have quite a number of them.
Yeah.
We have sitting volleyball. Sitting volleyball, we give them a space where we put a mat and they sit down and they play sitting volleyball. And they do very well in that. That when they go and compete among their peers in other universities, we are always at the top. Then we have the goal ball. The goal ball is the one I'm talking about for the visually impaired. And they play it, and we have also been performing very well. Apparently, we also have track and field events. And now, I have 2 of my former students who came back on Saturday from Tunisia to participate in track and field. We have Sheila Wanyonyi, who graduated in December, and Evelyn Kulundu. They graduated in December. They have been one of our stars. And so they went to Tunisia to compete in, Sheila was doing javelin, and Evelyn was doing discus. And they performed very well, that now they are moving to the next stage for the Olympic qualifiers in May. And that's the story of success, because of the opportunities that we have given them here while they're in the university.
Nice.
And we still have several who have participated in those international national events and have qualified for international events. Unfortunately, within the federation, things are not very rosy. So sometimes they qualify, but when the selection is being done, I don't know what happens, they are left out. But these particular ones have been able to fight their way up until now. They were able to go up to that international level.
Yeah.
And as I was talking to them, I was challenging them that it is time they now moved and penetrated into the federation and seek leadership in the national federation, so that because of the experiences they have had, they can be able now to help their others who they have left behind.
Yeah.
Fight so that when somebody qualifies, then they are taken. Their positions are not taken by others who may not have qualified or performed as well as this one did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we have a lot of opportunities here in KU. We organize a sports day annually. We organize a sports day for the persons with disability. And it's a very beautiful event if you attend it.
Yeah.
They really enjoy themselves. Yeah, and then they are able to share among themselves the challenges that they have and discuss how they can progress. And they are forever in the office fighting for more and more inclusion.
Okay. Right.
And we have tried as much as possible to have them included. And when we draw the sports fixtures in the university, we also have sports fixtures for
Specifically
the students,
designed.
specifically defined for the students with disability.
Okay.
And that has worked well so far.
Very commendable work there from Kenyatta University. Kennedy.
Yes.
You've been a champion and advocacy for, let's speak about the job placement strategy that is implemented through Action Network for the Disabled. If you can borrow that and maybe elaborate on the strategy itself for other organizations now during the job placement time. What I'm getting from Dr. Gitau, that we need to have a conscious decision making. If you're making a fixture for sports, we have to consciously remember that we need to do this as well. And that might not be the case for maybe human resource professionals who are hiring or who are within organizations and taking care of job placement. What, through Action Network for the Disabled, the strategies that maybe someone who's out there can look at to ensure that also, before you reach them for advocacy, they are also consciously thinking about this in the recruitment process and the job placement.
I think you meant Riziki's also.
Yeah.
Action Network for the is also another organization.
Yes.
I know about it.
Yeah.
First of all, when you are handling disability issues of whatever nature, you must be deliberate and you must purpose to do something around them. If you tag them along others, you'll not be able to make headway. That's why I agree with her. When they are planning for sports, they are also planning for this other category. If you plan wholesomely for sports, they will not thrive. You must purpose to have something for them. If you are handling matters employment, you must also be deliberate. But for this particular vacancy, I'm targeting qualified persons with disability. You see? If you end up mixing again, you'll be missing the point. Why? The playing level is not, the playing field is not leveled. We must start from that point. The average lifespan of a person with disability in school, there is a delay of around 4 years due to several factors. Huyu atakuwa amemaliza, yule ambaye bado ako 4 years nyuma, na wako of the same age. Economically, from the families, we compete for resources. The parents don't have enough. The other siblings, who is likely to prioritize in terms of fee payment? Yule mwingine akisema, huyu, I'm gambling, I'm not very sure it will end up. Let me start with this, then I'll come back to this. Those are the things that factors attributed to the delays that I've just mentioned. So by the time this guy clears, the other guy has already done 3 years of service somewhere. You see? And these are real things. They are backed by figures, backed by numbers, data supporting them. They are not just narrations. So when, for example, you get a person with disability with the same grade as this other guy, the circumstances I went through to obtain the B and the circumstances the other person went through to obtain the B, very, very different. So you cannot just subject these people to the usual interview. That's why at the back of your mind, you must have something, affirmative mind, you see? And now subject this person to the test. Of course, you also need the best. Somebody will add value to your organization. You can't just pick people. But there's a way in which you can test that. Ukimweka pamoja na wale wa alliance na nani ati sasa wewe unatafuta the best, bado utamwacha pale nyuma. So you must be affirmative to answer your question. There is also the problem of employers having the understanding. We are in the week to do awareness. The climax will be on 15th. That is what we are doing now. Any employer is watching. If you are interested in promoting the employment of persons with disability, you purpose to do it. You don't just mention it as a by the way. You don't just quote your policies that we are an equal opportunity employer. Everybody will say that. Even in government agencies, everybody, and persons with disability, I highly encourage to apply. You will see those taglines along.
Just to tick a few boxes.
Then there is somebody who was employed wakati kulikuwa na zile performance contracting. Somebody was employed maybe 5 years ago. They keep on telling you, yes, we have so and so. They employ every year. But they will only cite the one who was employed 5 years ago.
Wow.
So no hata huyu tumemwajiri yako hapa. It is work in progress, but they keep on recruiting year in, year out. But they will only stick to one case.
One diversity hire.
Yes. You see, these are the things that we need to think about. We came up with the database to solve the problem of mobilization. The employers who say, Sisi, we are doing our best to reach out to these people.
But
hawapatikani. And then we ask them, what is that best you are doing? How do you advertise your positions? See, kwa gazeti, the visually impaired, how do they access that? You see, even the deaf. Some of them, you know, sign language is not English. It is sign language. And if you translate it to English, it sometimes it doesn't make sense because it is broken English. If you decide you are very articulate in what you have advertised outside there's a deaf will not understand that because it is in a language that is different from the signing. So these are the things these people don't know, and we try to bring them to light. That's why it is very, very important for the University of Kenyatta University to have a day dedicated to spreading awareness around disability issues. I think this is one of a kind. That's why I feel very honored to come and contribute my insights towards this course. Because at the end of the day, new information will reach out to people, and people will now start taking steps to ensure that they address matters of concern regarding employment. If another point is that an example is given, Safaricom is doing very well in employing persons with disabilities. Yes, they are doing better than the others, but look at the positions
that they are being given.
They are being given there. Look at the position. Most of them are in the call centers. Sasa tumebaki kutumia ile methali, heri nusu shari kuliko shari kamili. But that should not be the case. Tunataka shari.
Tunataka shari yote.
Tunataka shari. You see? Even these people who start from the call center, these people can be helped to grow, move up the ladder. You see? These are the things we need to do. I know even those who work there, wengine wamesoma vizuri, najua kuna huyu ana MC events nini. That guy I know, he even went to Alliance.
He did.
Ile kitambo.
He did.
Na si bado hapo tu kwa customer service department hapo, unaona vitu kama hizo. Yes, of course sasa ni mkubwa wa wale. But you see, kuna ukiangalia tu, it's like Safaricom also has stereotyped things in a certain way.
You have a line.
Nyinyi you just belong here. You see? These are the things we need to talk about.
That's correct.
And
organizational structure.
Yes, organizational structure. Those are the things now bringing out concerns that we need to have a conversation about during a week like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daktari, breaking those walls, educational barriers which are there within the institution, in what areas can we look at to ensure, even across the fraternity, people living or people with disabilities are also thriving, whether it's through infrastructure or whatever activities that are happening within Kenyatta University and our institutions of learning at large?
I think one of the ways that we can break these barriers is by having these people living with disability working together with the others. For example, when we have sports, our move is we want to move away from just giving a sports day for the people living with the disability alone. They have been claiming that they want to be included when we have national games. We have national games and include them among the national games. Our thinking was that it would be better to have them have their own sports day alone. But they are saying, no, we want to be among the others.
Right.
Because that way we reach more people. And in that way they are able to build social capitals.
Okay.
Barriers like what he's saying about a job being advertised and they don't get the information. If they have known other people from other universities, people who are in the same, taking the same courses with them, and not just people who are playing the same game.
Okay.
So that way they are able to create more networks. So when opportunities come, they are able to be informed without having to read newspapers. Yeah, I believe that is a better way of having them together with the others and then breaking the barrier of exclusivity. We have more activities for them, and even at higher levels. Like so far, it is only women who have, we have managed to take up to East African level for sports. But we want to bring even the men aboard so that we are fighting with the Kenya University Sports Federation to also have the men included. Apparently, I happen to be in the women wing of the Kenya University Sports Federation. And as we talk about promoting gender equality in sports, we have also talked about equity, inclusion, and that's why we never leave behind the women with disability. We have come up with them. And last year they took part in the East African University Games. And through that, they're able to create networks now, even within the East African region. What we are saying can help create, break those barriers and build social capital so that when there are jobs, they also get to know that there are jobs elsewhere. So we are also bringing the men on board now so that they can also be included in the national university sports. So together they build more networks and they share experiences. What I liked about that inclusion, when we were in Joro over the weekend, after the game, we had a game between Maseno University and Kenyatta University. Those girls just sat together and they started discussing. So I was finding out what they were discussing about. And then they were saying, yeah, we discuss what is done, how they are supported in Maseno, and we say how we are supported, what infrastructure they have, how we can share, how we can talk to the people in charge of sports so that they can help us expand, so that we have more teams coming in. And last semester, we had games at Maseno University. But that one we brought all the men and women together and they shared. We had about 7 universities. Maseno University, USIU, KU, Meru. We had Jomo Kenyatta, and there was the 6th one, I think it's Kabarak. So from that, you see again we are bringing more space, more networks, creating more networks. And that, I believe, would help break that barrier. And then as they interact, they are also developing communication skills, and then self-confidence, and that prepares them even for the job market. So that when it comes to attending interviews, they are more confident, they can talk well about what they are doing. Removing that stigma and making them feel that, they're as good as everybody else.
Right.
And when they compete with the others.
I like the cross-institutional collaboration that comes out of that kind of environment in trying to break the social barriers as well. We're sort of doing a research and learning from each other, and because the theme here is also about higher education access and to economic opportunities as well. I think that also takes care of the question which I was going to ask post school. What happens? In what ways are we fostering inclusivity? That kind of social collaboration and environment where they're creating networks, I'm sure is very helpful even post university time. We are here for the week, and then it's culminating on Friday. Mr. Kennedy, for someone who's been championing this for so many years now, and with experience, yourself experience with disability, I'm sure it's a very phenomenal day for you. So I think I want us to take time to have a look at how important this day is. What is the significance to the efforts that you've been up to? What are the milestones you see so far? Do you feel like we are headed in the right direction? And what more do we have to do?
Where we are today is not where we were in the 90s or even 80s. We have made strides to an extent that now a premier institution like KU can say a particular day is the Disability Awareness Day. That's something special, because you could not talk about this even before 2000. Things started getting vibrant in 2003 after the promulgation of the Person with Disability Act, which became possible when now the former President Kibaki got elected, served, was sworn in on a wheelchair, saw through the challenges, akasema hii sheria wacha niweke kidole. Now things started getting vibrant from that time. Kenyatta University started this journey way back. I remember I was in a school, and wakati huo C+ haikuwa inaingia university. There was a time C+ was not coming in here. Kenyatta University had a program to bring C+ from Joy Town, hapa kusomea walimu. Even those days, I remember that. And so many came to benefit. I know one who currently works with the National Oil Corporation who came through this institution. You see? So that's why I have a liking for this institution, by the way. Hiyo ni ukweli tu wa mambo. Because, because of, there are things, Okay, nothing is 100%.
But mgala mpe haki.
Yes. Mgala muwe lakini haki yake umpatie. Actually, you have no much when it comes to trying to work on disability issues in the country at the moment. You have no much. That one I can say with confidence. What is happening at this particular time is reaffirming the position that persons with disability are in existence. They are part of this society. Hakuna mahali watapelekwa, wataendelea kukaa hapa, na lazima muwe na mikakati ya kuishi na hao sako kwa bako. You will not take them anywhere. They continue to be here. They'll need to go to school. They need to access medical facilities. They'll need to take part in sporting activities. They'll need to do every other thing that any other person does. And that's why we are here to provide insights on how you can learn to live side by side with them. Looking at the infrastructure here, hapa ndio nilikuja kama napanda stairs. Lakini sasa
kweli
but
isemwe
yeah, but I also know that you have tried to do some good things. You cannot have the whole thing in one day conforming to the standard, but we always look at the steps being taken to realize something. Utaweza pata A, utaweza pata B+, utaweza pata
room for improvement.
Hata hii iko huko nyuma. Na hata hii saizi wanaenda effects. You see? Something like that. So
level effort.
Yes. So it is an opportunity where we need even to talk to the entire fraternity here on steps they are supposed to take to address certain issues. We'll also talk to students. I believe on 15th, students will be mobilized and an opportunity will be provided to tell them about their rights. Particularly talk about, I've also been invited to come back on 15th for something there. There are other employers outside here who are also passionate about helping them. Quarterly, after every 3 months, David and Shatley, for example, they take person with disability for an internship period, 3 months, paid internship, daily 1,500. I know some of them are not aware. That information I can give them. Even last quarter I gave them people. Even the other quarter I've been giving them people each and every quarter. Because once they clear with this one, they need another one. Once they clear with this, they need another one. So that is information that can benefit these people, to show them that there are those who are willing to do something around their cases. When we're talking about awareness, yes, we try to make them aware with some of those facts. We also applaud developments that have come to the fore, the ones I've talked about. Okay, you trying to mainstream things, we bring them to light. Unajua usiposema kitu, watu watafikiria you are not doing anything.
Ni vizuri useme.
Yes, you can also be umepigwa mpaka uwe demoralized. So after all these efforts, bana naongea hivi. Something like that. So it is also an opportunity for the university itself to take pride on strides they have made and talk about them. Saying this department is doing this department is doing this. It's an opportunity to offer linkages to these people. The one I've talked about, the David and Shatley. I'll take candidates here. It's an opportunity to also enlist them in our database. As soon as they finish, they graduate, to now, then we try to link them with employers. Yes, those are some of the things that we need to focus on during this week.
Okay. Daktari, because we are now already speaking about the week and Friday, what activities are there within Kenyatta University for this week and on the day? What people can look forward to who want to attend. As I said, that's a chance for Kenyatta University to also speak about the efforts. And I know there's a discourse as according to what I'm looking at here, but maybe you can highlight the major conversations, activities which are planned around this 14th Disability Awareness Day that is going down on the 15th of March here at Kenyatta University.
Yes, we have activities we have a Disability Sports Day, but it will not happen on 15th because we need a whole day. So ours will take part, we will have that a week after, so that we have a whole day to ourselves. So we shall participate, we shall come and listen to the presentations. There are those opportunities that we are not aware of, and the students may not be aware of, as he's saying. So they will come and they will listen. But for sports, we shall take the next weekend, we shall have on Saturday, we'll have a Disability Sports Day.
Okay.
Which is, we are organizing, the Directorate plus KUSA is supporting us this time, so that we bring everybody, all the students, with the special, sometimes we say with the special needs, because theirs are different from what we normally give to the general population.
Yeah.
So we will have sports like the chess, we'll have Scrabble, we will have sitting volleyball, we'll have goalball, and we'll have track and field events. So that takes us a whole day.
Yeah.
So we cannot be able to bring it on 15th.
But it will be...
But we will have one full day for those activities. They also swim, and there is also cycling. 2 years ago, we were lucky to have had a sponsor who brought some bicycles and tricycles for the students with disabilities. And we enjoyed cycling that whole day, but they went away with their bikes. They went away with the bikes, but we were allowed to go and hire, not really hire. We could take them and come and have use them over a weekend, and we did that thereafter. But at the moment now, I was told the bikes have broken down because there were few, and the demand for the use of those bicycles was very high. They were not just for the universities, they were for the general community of people living with disabilities. And they are quite expensive. Our institution is not yet able to purchase for our own students. But we believe we can, in future, we can get a partner who can help us get those bicycles so that we increase activities that our students will engage in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That tackles the question which I was going to ask on community outreach. In what ways we can do that? I think that's one of those ways, partnering with Riziki Source and other people in the community who are looking at advocacy matters, or even providing that sort of assistive technology. And it could be fun. It could also be for other activities like accessing areas of opportunities and even education. Professor, now with your expertise in sports, Daktari, with your expertise in sports, how can we inspire more people with disabilities to also be involved in sports? I think as we try and ensure that the rest of society is also coming along, there are those who might be people with disabilities, but they're because of the kind of stigma they're facing. As you said, it's a good thing even during sports when they are having conversations with other people, they're building that confidence, public speaking, and all those other soft skills as well. How can we inspire more of them to also participate in sport? What can we tell them is a good thing about them also taking part actively in sports?
We have, with that, we have planned to have a sports day, not now internal, where we invite people from outside the community, so that they can also come and take part. We have sports, and mainly the sports for disability are not competitive as such, because even when we award, we give awards, everybody is a winner. We never emphasize on who got the gold or what. We say that whoever participates is already a winner.
Nice.
And so when we bring these other people, we plan to have a day when we invite even children from Joy School, I think a school for the blind, so that together they come and we have those sports, mainly for leisure and recreation, and for interaction, the social interaction, what we are saying. So that from that, one, we will inspire those ones who are not in the university to know that if they work hard, they can also come to the university. And when they come to the university, there are opportunities for taking part in sports. And when they take part in sports, there are also opportunities like the ones these girls have had, Sheila and Evelyn. They can go beyond, outside Kenya, because of sports. Because sports is one area where we have opportunities for traveling, a lot of traveling. And if you're good in a sport, then you have more opportunities for going out. And as you go out, as I had said before, you have more opportunities for creating strong networks out there. And that would help you in future even get other opportunities, job opportunities, and socializing with the other people from outside the region.
Okay.
So we believe that when we hold that, and we have been holding such sports, then we shall bring the community on board.
To get involved.
Yes, and they learn from us, and we also learn from them.
Nice.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy, we are now towards the tail end of the conversation. We're actually at the tail end of the conversation. Just wanted to look at the discourse which is happening on this 15th, and it's around 3 key areas. Demolishing educational walls. I think we've tried to touch as much as possible. Pia highlight kuna stairs mahali hapa zinafaa ziundiwe ramp hapo kando, which is very important feedback. So building bridges to economic prosperity, you know, those kinds of interactions, socialization and breaking barriers. I want us to do the third one, which is the other discourse, forging policy pathways. You know, the role of policy in creating systemic change. I know that individually we might not do a lot, but we do have a government, we do have organizations which are taking care of this and creating frameworks that are identifying the gaps of inclusivity and how we do that. And I just want to know, you know, what from your end, what more you think can be done in terms of policy, research, and you know, matters of where the government is involved and regulation. But I wanted to say to mention something to you, which is a sad report that, you know, I'm sure you'll not like to hear. If you've heard of it, I'm sure you're not happy about it. Here, the Kenya Revenue Authority has called out some employers for illegally denying their workers with disabilities monthly tax reliefs as provided in the law. Which means even some of these organizations are deliberately, you know, going against some of the provisions which are there already in the law. In what more ways can we, in what other ways, and how more can we emphasize policy and framework within organizations and in the general public to screen such cases?
Yeah, I think first of all, policy very, very important, because it is the policy that will define how you operate. And most times you'll be denied something by somebody will say, our policy does not allow that. You will hear that a lot. It means policy has been put on a certain pedestal. In Kenya, we don't have what is called a disability policy. That one brings in problems. We have laws and all those other things. Government, when they're talking about something, they are always say the government policy is this.
Yeah.
The Kenyatta University policy on that is this. And they'll easily brush you aside if something is outside the policy. But akimbia kwa policy haraka sana.
Mbaya sana.
Policy yetu haituruhusu. When the policy supports it, now they look for other things to frustrate you. But when the policy is clearly not supporting it, haraka. Yako ita sekunde moja. Hiyo yako has been dispensed with. What we do as Riziki Source, there are organizations that have come forward to mean well on matters mainstreaming of disability. They have enlisted our support at times to help them develop a disability mainstreaming policy for them. Some even government institutions, universities. I took part in a session organized with Kenya National Examination Council to help them come up with a disability mainstreaming policy, Kenya National Examination Council. Simply because there is a staff in a senior position, Dr. Ogle, who knew me and proposed my name as one of the persons who would be able to help advance that course. And the policy is in operation as we are talking now. Case you have mentioned, employers not living up to what the law says. I don't know how that one comes to happen, because it should have been the other way around. It should have been KRA frustrating this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, KRA frustrating employers.
Yeah, KRA frustrating this employee because you are exempted up to 150,000 income tax, but there are certain steps you need to take. See ati wewe ni mlemavu sasa haya for example, no, you must be cleared to start benefiting. You must go through a vetting process. You must be certified by doctors and things like that. It's when now KRA will give you the certificate. Once you have the certificate, the employer should have no say. Sababu ushuru si yake. Wale ndio washaku exempt. They should have no say whatsoever. But you see, there are those pia wako na tuivu kidogo kidogo. Anaona, wewe ulipi kitu aje. You know, that tax is a lot. It is a lot. Look at your pay slips and you will see that it is a lot. Especially when now you consider that you are not receiving commensurate government services after kuchukua hiyo pesa yako. It is a lot. So the thing is, that person has all the rights to take the employer, to seek legal redress in compelling the employer to act according to what the law says. Yeah, I expected KRA to bring that problem, not an employer to bring it, to somebody who should benefit from it. If Daktari here works for Kenyatta University, she happens to be exempted from that. Her responsibility is to go through these steps and bring the certificate to those who are paying. After that, you have no business saying, no, I'm not paying. Why? You should have no business around that. Yeah. And she would move very swiftly to take legal regress, to get justice around that. Yeah. Anybody who's going through that should be proactive and take steps to ensure that justice is restored in that. So about policy, I think even we have been approached lately with through the office of Dr. Mbugua. We'd like a closer collaboration with Kenyatta University, and he has interest in matters even enriching the policy framework within the institution. Working together to realize that, of course, it is something that will have to be endorsed by the leadership of the university, the Senate, and even the Vice Chancellor will have to approve that. We have a sample MOU, a template of the MOU that we are supposed to key in to enrich this discussion. We would like to have a partnership. By the way, I failed to mention, we even sponsored some students here. Students with disabilities.
Asuriziki.
Yeah, through our influence.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an organization that works with us. And there was a case where a student reached out to us. Unajua saa zingine wakiona wewe you are working in the space, they believe you can solve all the problems, which may not necessarily be the truth. So this particular one was in need of fees. And he was almost dropping out. He was doing medical science laboratory, something like that, from somebody from Muko, Mandera. So he came to our office, believing that we can pay a fee. Coincidentally, we also had a guest in the office on a different mission. So it is us now who decided to convince this guest, because we knew they had some scholarship in another place. No, we also have these cases. Immediately, they told us to, actually they sent money on M-Pesa.
Wow.
Hivyo tu kimchezo. And the guy is here. Ukipata ni oria hivi. Limping hivi. Doing medical something. That is our participant in our project scholarship. And recently, they have also called on me to furnish them with 6 other names of needy cases, which I've already done. Yeah, so these are kind of things, stuff we are trying to handle here.
That's very nice.
Yeah, so the way forward around policy is that each institution cannot, no institution will mainstream disability without a policy framework. That one has to come first.
for us to mainstream, we need to have a policy
You
framework.
need to have a policy. And those who are struggling with having a disability mainstreaming policy, they feel free to reach out to Riziki Source. Not just us alone, there are many people who can do that.
Yeah.
Even Dr. here, I believe, having been in that field for that period of time, will have something to say around matters policy. Yeah, you reach out to people you feel are more qualified and have information around those areas to come and help you to put up things. But it is not just for purpose of having the policy, living true to the
policy.
Provisions of the policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you very much for that comprehensive coverage, hapo mwisho. And now, as we wrap up, I just have one more question. There's a lot we could speak about, but mostly we want to go beyond conversation and to take action. I think this is where I want our viewers to also know how they can get involved in promoting this kind of inclusion in the spaces that they are in. Just a call to action to all of them. Maybe if I can begin with Daktari here, in promoting disability inclusion in sports, maybe some concrete steps that you see we can take and your hopes for the future, generally a long-term stretch in disability inclusion in society and sports as a whole. What do you think, what do you envision, and maybe a call to action on other institutions of higher learning who might maybe pick a leaf from what Kenyatta University is doing?
Oh, thank you for that. After the discussion that we have had, and especially on the issue policy, it has taken me back to our department, now my teaching department, and I have seen that there is need for us to do research in the area of university sports, having a policy for university sports. And I see an opportunity for us to do research and then come up with a policy guiding the universities, not just Kenyatta University, universities on the way of improving inclusion of students with the disability among our universities.
Okay.
So I think that would be very good, because that will ensure that we have a document that guides us on how we should have more students who have disabilities get involved in sports, and then even move them further higher up from Kenya to the East African region, where we have a body that runs sports, which is called Federation of East African University Sports, and move it further to FASU, another body which is Africa Sports University Federation. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that way I'm seeing an opportunity for us to work and to bring change in the university sports, not just in KU, but in Kenya, East Africa, Africa, and if possible even FISU, the International Federation for University Sports.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much there. Mr. Kennedy, as we move forward, your long-term hopes for the future, and because it's Disability Awareness Day on Friday, just a call to action for deliberate awareness to the society.
Yeah, I think there are things we can change. Persons with disabilities will continue to be amongst us. They'll continue to require the services as other people. Let's take advantage of the Awareness Day to highlight success, milestones, challenges, and think about improvements in areas we find ourselves having fallen short. And also think about patching up on areas that we were doing well, but kind of we are kind of backsliding a bit, because sometimes you can walk 2 steps in front and make another 3 na akili iko tu kwa zile mbili, kumbe hizo gains zilishakuwa reversed kabisa. Yeah, it is time we need to think about that. When you are doing something for a person with disability, know that you're also doing it for yourself, because you don't know when you may turn out to be the person with disability. Yeah, yesterday I was in a meeting where the director of the National Council of Persons with Disability, Haruna San, who is on a wheelchair, was they were launching the strategic plan. The principal secretary in the Ministry of Labor, Social, that ministry, was there. A former DO was a DO with Haruna San back in the early 90s. Haruna San was a tall man walking majestically. With this principal secretary was also a DO then, bubbling with life. Things have now changed. Hassan is on a wheelchair. The DO is still now principal secretary, very tall. He's the one who gave that example. And he used the example to indicate that you don't know what the future is. You see? Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
Tables turn.
Yeah, we are here. What you'd like me to do to you when these tables turn, why can't we just do it to others now before they turn? Yeah, we don't have a situation where you join the club and people say, wewe ulikuwa unafanya hivi na hivi. Wewe, si unaona sasa? Yeah, we want a situation where we are embraced. People take you through the learning ropes. No, there, now do this. See, wale wanasema, yes. You see, things like that, you see? Yeah.
Takes me back to the staircase example you gave. I could be ignoring it. Alafu ile siku mimi nitahitaji ndakuwa like, we mbona hakuna hapa ramp tutumie? Yeah. Now finally I realize what is happening around me.
I don't know it is in which ministry. There is another case. You know, they say civil servants sometimes wanakuanga na kiburi ingine kwa maofisi zao sana. Also, something happened. No, Kenya School of TVETs, I think. Yeah, there is a lecturer there who had a severe accident. People used to talk about putting ramps, I don't know what. Yeah, alikuwa in a position ya ku-approve. You see? They see, no, this is not an emergency, not urgent, you know, things like that. Now he suffered the accident.
Now suddenly he needs
go to that school now. There are ramps all over.
Kila mahali. Even places where it's not needed.
They are waiting for that to strike. But that is not the way to handle this.
It's good to wait, yeah?
Yeah, it's not good to wait. Yeah, but there are those, if you go, for example, to NITA, these institutions that were built long time ago, they did not factor in the inclusion. Those days, these were not issues of discussion. You find that it's a real struggle. Kitaka hata mtu fulani ako juu kabisa, kuna lift, kuna nini. There are some of those cases, it will take a lot to correct them, because you also think of the budgetary implication of doing that. Others would mean bringing down a whole you see. So there are those that will understand, taking into account the journey people have traveled
so far.
So you will not just make noise over everything. There are those. This is a case in point. Maybe few times you get to interact with persons with disabilities, but we cannot just talk about this. There are also others you look at. People have also tried to work
do
on
something.
This. You look at things also.
Ngala muwe na haki umpe.
Kabisa.
Si ati umpe haki alafu muwe.
Kabisa.
Kweli. Thank you very much for that conversation. I think we'll wrap it up at that point. And for anyone else who would want to participate, to be involved, to ask questions, to get awareness, Kenyatta University on Friday, this 15th March, will be marking Disability Awareness Day. So be there, be square, and get to learn on how we can inspire inclusion within our high institutions of learning. The theme here for the 14th Kenyatta University Disability Awareness Day is empowering people with disabilities through inclusive higher education for economic success. I like that even in the theme, it's not people living with disabilities. It's empowering people with disabilities through inclusive higher education for economic success. We've had a look at how that is being done in sports within the higher education sector. We've had a look at the bridging of that gap between school and post-school for employment purposes with Riziki Source. So if you missed any bits of that conversation, it will be there on YouTube, KUTV Kenya. Later on, you can catch up and get to follow up on any concerns you have. The Mufasa anasema good morning OKENYE, watching from Kahawa Wendani. Empowering conversation. Thank you very much. Mugeni Nelly, morning Biashara Tuesday. Persons with disabilities should be treated equally and well represented. Asante Mugeni Nelly. Gin Hub 254, great conversation. Is it right to assume that person with disability always needs help? That's a good question. I think we can wrap with that question. They're asking, is it right to assume that person with disability always needs help?
No, it is not right to assume so. That's why when we are taking people through what is called etiquettes of disability, one of them is that ask before you help somebody.
All right.
Yeah, by the way, there are persons with disability who are doing better than non-disabled person.
You're trying to help them. And
don't just... Even if I get into a lift, sometimes the lift, kuna hizi lift ziko well organized. You can tell, no, you punch. Just allow me to punch on my own. Yeah. But if I tell you to help me, if you want to help me, you need to ask me. Do I help you? Do you need some help from me? Yeah. So it is not right to assume that I need help. Even me at my level. Find me walking in the streets of Nairobi. Mtu anakuja anataka kukupatia shilingi 50. Hujaitisha, you see?
Wow.
Yeah, there are people who believe that these people, so that question is very, very valid, and it is from maybe experience, because it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Never assume.
Okay, there you go. There you have it. Thank you very much. That's Kennedy Okongo, Director of Programs at Riziki Source, and also accompanying him has been Dr. Florence Gitau, Director Sports and Games at Kenyatta University. We're looking at inclusive sports and inclusive employment. I hope you learned something. I'm taking this chance to go for a break because I have another conversation that's coming up. We'll be looking at all of that on social platforms at KUTV Kenya. Don't go too far.
Kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
Kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday, we ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that we are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called the Security Breach Detector and Readiness Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosive.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Okay. There's a need for intensified efforts to rectify the historical marginalizations of persons with disability. I'm looking here actually at United Nations Disability and Development Report from 2023, and it shows there's a particular deviation noted in meeting the targets to persons with disabilities all across the world. And we're trying to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030, which means we are about 6 years away, and there's a particular deviation which has been noted here by the United Nations in their report from 2023 that they're not getting access to justice when it comes to matters of economic success. This Friday, March 15th, Kenyatta University is holding its 14th Disability Awareness Day, and it's going to have a look at the issues of empowering people with disabilities through inclusive higher education for economic success. The discourse is going to be around demolishing educational walls. So this means understanding the diverse needs of the students who are living with disabilities, and we're trying to change that to people with disabilities. And the aim is to pave way for their full participation in all the activities which are happening to ensure their academic success first, because this is how we link them and to the marketplace where they will realize economic success. And that's the second discourse that will happen on Friday, building bridges to economic prosperity. Post-graduation, how should we shift this focus to empower these individuals with disabilities to thrive in the workplace? We had a conversation here with the Director of Programs at Riziki Source and also the Director of Sports within Kenyatta University, and that is in matters of disability. How are they building that bridge between the university for people with disabilities to the outside world to foster inclusive environments that break down all the employment barriers and ensure equal opportunities? Riziki Source is already doing that, and the Director of Programs, who was here, Mr. Kennedy, is also doing advocacy in his own other ways in job placement strategies. So if you're an organization that needs to have a look at that and break down its employment barriers for people with disabilities, reach out to Riziki Source and reach out to Mr. Kennedy. He will help you in setting up that kind of framework. Forging policy pathways, also a discourse that's happening on Friday. What in terms of policy shift, and how can we make it effective to ensure that there are no gaps which are hindering inclusivity? So those are the conversations which are happening on Friday. And if you're someone who is the head of an organization, have a look at infrastructure first. How do you ensure access for your customers, for your employees? How do you promote that? Because someday, as they said, you could be the one on the other side and needing these resources. Apart from infrastructure, also societal barriers which are there existing within the organization. Awareness needs to be deliberate for us to ensure inclusivity is something that is there entrenched in the foundations of organizations and society. So that's access to justice for people with disabilities. But how about access to justice for you? Do you need Okia or Mtata, or do you need a lawyer, or do you need Wakili AI? This is a platform for you and for the lawyers as well. So if you're a lawyer, don't run away from this conversation. We're trying to also show you how this technology built by Wakili AI can help you in dispensing justice to your clients. But also as a client, how do you access these resources when it comes to matters of justice? So that conversation is coming up. And also on AI, the biggest buzzword for the past 2 years, artificial intelligence is now within the corridors of justice. How is it being used, and what is Wakili AI up to? Any questions you have, send them through to us. This is an exciting conversation, so don't go far. Wakili AI was founded in 2023 by Naftal Nyabuto. He's currently the CEO of Mzawadi Group, a technology company that is based in Kenya. Now they have a motivation and have actually implemented it to ensure that it's working with NGOs and communities from across Africa. Now, with the creation of Wakili AI, we're trying to use that technology to bridge the gap in the legal world, or that's what they are up to, and we are here to find out exactly in what ways. I'm sitting down with the VP products at Wakili AI, Collins Mwangi. I'm just going to give him a chance to do introduction to him, to Wakili AI, trusted legal companion. Atuambie how much of trust we need to have in the trusted legal companion that is Wakili AI. Welcome to the show, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
My name is Collins Mwangi from Wakili AI. That is, you know, the newest product in town, and in this aspect, AI. Yes.
Right. Let's talk about AI first before we get into Wakili AI. Blanket statement, blanket question. What do you think of AI? Should we be worried? Should we not be worried? As someone who's been actively in that space, kuna so many concerns people have now, and I'm sure even with Wakili AI, lawyers are getting a few jitters. They're like, hey man, am I being replaced? And I think that's the biggest concern with everyone, from writers to lawyers to artists, musicians, composers, producers, anyone who's doing anything really right now, maybe except Mama Mboga and construction workers, and you never know. The question is, am I being replaced?
So to just answer the first question, should we be worried of AI? The answer should be no. We should be cautious. AI is becoming more of a tool, less of a threat. So AI is here to help us as humans to make sure that whatever we could not be able to do quite faster or streamline it, AI is here to streamline things, and it's here to give us, to help us make our way forward on some things. To just take caution on how to use it well, and so that we do not create products that would distract us, but rather products that will build us.
So there's also need for us to think about how we might create products that will be a threat to us, not AI itself being maybe maybe a threat to us, as you said there. Sometimes it could be we are very good at it that we didn't think that maybe we are the ones who might be the problem. But as you said, it's a tool. It's more of a tool, as it was with automation, with calculators, with computers. Now we don't have fax machines anymore. And finally, we're talking about the law, right?
Yes.
How has your journey been in AI, personally speaking, before Wakili AI, and then now we can get to the product itself?
So personally on AI, I've been working on AI products previously at different companies that were dealing with AI. And AI is very diverse. AI is in all aspects. There's AI in health, there's AI in education, there's AI even in science, there's AI in medical care, and now there's AI in law. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How has been your personal journey in developing AI tools? Is it getting easier with AI as well? Helping you build products? How's it been like up until Wakili?
So it is obviously a challenging journey, but also a journey that you learn every single day, and a journey that you are working to build ethical AI and AIs that are here to build up and to streamline how things are working, and also to streamline how things will be even in future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wakili AI emphasizes free service to democratize access to justice. When we say Wakili AI, for someone who's now just watching this, and we're trying to democratize access to justice for people who are likely not even aware of what AI in-depth is. So if you can break it down on what Wakili AI is and how this is going to ensure justice is served to as many people as possible.
So as you know, Wakili AI is an API, which is a tool that you're able to access online on any of your browser, be it Google Chrome, browser Firefox, or any browser that you use to get to the internet. So you are able to log into www.wakili.org and you're able to, if it's your first time, you're able to sign up there, or if it's your second time, you're able to log in, and then you're able to ask questions. So basically how Wakili AI works, like you said, we are trying to democratize access to justice. There was a study that was made in 2017 by HIIL. This is the Hague guys. And they noticed in that year, which the statistics are probably the same, or they are even coming at least to, and the study showed 70% of the individuals in Kenya, because it was carried out in all the counties of Kenya, 70% of Kenyans, they are not able to access to justice. So either they are fearing, they do not have the right tools, they feel that the legal procedures are way too heavy, I do not want to go through that route. And so the Kenyans would want something that they are able to relate with, and something they are is able to simplify this whole legal jargon to them. And they would want something that would make things simpler. You know the language of our learned friends. Yeah.
So make it simpler, more understandable.
Yes.
To them. So this is something that they can access on any device that they have.
Yes. So in fact, you can access Wakili AI currently, even as we are speaking.
I'm on it.
Yeah, you can access Wakili AI on your mobile phone, on your tablet. Just go to your browser of your choice, write wakili.org, and you'll be able to see us there. Then you'll be able to log in, ask your question. For example, just speaking of the many problems that we are facing with our normal society in matters law. You know, they normally say the law is like a spider web. It has a string in every aspect, you know, be it your relationship with your landlord, your relationship, you know, in your workplace, your relationship with your colleagues, you know, your family. The law has something that it says about it. And you see, even us democratizing access to justice, we still want to build people and communities that are law abiders, people who have the respect of the law, and they uphold the rule of the law.
Okay. I was actually going exactly into that question, because on your website, which is wakili.org, there's been a number indicated. There are 65,450 consultations that have happened. And this is a significant number within a short time frame. I needed an elaboration maybe on some of the types of legal issues these consultations have that have been passed to the platform are like, and how the Wakili AI has been able to help them navigate the legal system as such.
So I want to first start with the numbers. The number is
65,450.
So the number is 65K.
455, yeah. So they've refreshed that on the screen. It's more.
So if they're able to display it, it would be great. So, well, as you can see, the number 65,455. This number on Wakili AI has been achieved in 3 months.
Okay.
So this tells you of how many Kenyans, you know, in all the counties, from Turkana, huko juu to Malindi, Mombasa, left side of the country. So if you look at that number, 65K, it has been achieved because we've been in operation for the last 3 months. You know, that's how we've been only operating for the program has been operating for 3 months. And it tells you, if in a span of less than 3 months, we have over 65K free consultations. The 65 consultations you are seeing, all of them are free. And the product is, but there's the privacy aspect of it. We do not share what our clients are asking or what our clients are requesting from Wakili AI. Again, we have the certifications for data privacy.
Okay.
So yeah,
I was actually going to ask that. They say, you know, it's between me and my lawyer. I am on wakili.org. Is it between me and the organization that is Wakili AI?
Yeah, so once you are able to visit Wakili AI, the consultations that you get, number one, they are free. Number two, they happen anytime, you know, 24/7 access. You know, it is very instant, very accurate, and it is to the language that you understand. I think I should also mention Wakili AI has over 40 languages. So this includes from Swahili, English, French, Chinese. you know, our country now is becoming a big society where we have people coming from abroad. They come and, you know, tourism, staying here. We have Chinese people, and they'll also be accorded the same treatment the law gives. So if you are a Chinese man out there, or someone who just came from a country that you do not speak English, and you're in the Kenyan premises or in the Kenyan jurisdiction, as they would call, so you are a subject of that law. So if you get yourself on the other side of the hand, so you're able to ask wakili in your own language. Let's say you are a young man out there and you do not know even how to speak Swahili. You're able to log into Wakili AI. You're able to ask it with Swahili or even that shege, and tell it nimeshikwa na huyu karao, this is the problem, nataka hivi, rada ni gani, and you know wakili will tell you, you know, what to do. Yeah.
Okay, so those are the specific ways in which the legal issues are being addressed, and I like that way of navigating the legal system on the spot. Kama wewe ni diplomat and you've bumped into my car on Thika Road, badala ni kudanganya, you could hop on to Wakili AI, say what happens when I do this in Kenya, and what steps should I?
Actually, the way we say democratizing access to justice, and how I just said previously, using your phone to get access to justice, imagine that it is very simple, that I just need to pull up my phone, log in there, if I have like a matter at hand. You know, look at some of the community engagements that we had last week with KU and JQuat students. We were doing legal and some team in ICJ and some other advocates. So we went there, we had community work at Ngara Market, and so would even visit this business women in the market and the businessmen, and would ask them, how is business looking like? Do you understand that the law is also part of your business? And they would be like, oh yes. And then we would ask them, what about your contracts? Are you on the right term, you know, with the law? And they're like, we've been having problems with drafting contracts against one another. And then you ask them, and then they would tell you, the process is very tiresome, it's a lot of work. So we asked them, hey, please, would you visit Wakili? And what language are you comfortable with? Some would go for English, some would go for Swahili. And then we'd ask them, please draft a contract between Mama so-and-so, because she's the supplier to this lady, and in other SMEs, you know, small, medium enterprises, and they would get a good contract that binds the two parties, and they're able to conduct business together. You know, this happened, I think, last week at Ngara Market.
Right. So that's democracy even to businesses, small businesses, mama mboga, mtu amemthreaten na mtolea kibanda, vitu kama hizo. Those are these things they can quickly have a look at. Kanjo amenishika, what are they allowed to do? What are they not allowed to do?
So maybe also to add on that, you see, previously, and also from the record that we had from the study on 2017 by the Hague team in Kenya, if you could view it on a layman's language to say, you'd say sheria ni inaumiza huyu mdogo, lakini huyu ako juu haimguzi, you know, and it's a common phrase you hear in the streets.
The law applies to you only when you're poor.
But you know, Wakili has democratized that. It means even if I do not have a coin in my pocket, and I feel that I need access to justice, and I really do not know what to do, I can log in at Wakili, I can know what are my rights, what does the law say about this specific topic or this specific scenario that I'm having, you know.
All right. Brings me to my other question, and because there's so many questions that we can ask about this, I'm going to bounce back between my audience and the questions that I have. The next one is from, this first question is from Debbie Rono. She's asking, and I want to tie it to what I was going to ask next. She's asking, is Wakili AI accurate, or I'll find myself in jail because AI lied to me? And had something similar to that, which is on how Wakili AI will handle complex legal issues. How does that bridging of the gap happen? Like, you know, when now it's a serious, complex legal issue that I'm presented with. Is there a way to bridge that gap and also to answer on matters of accuracy from Debbie Ron?
So, Debbie Rono, I would want to ask you first to visit Wakili AI and just present a complex case. I think we had some. I think we had some clips showing of people using it, the testimonials.
Yeah.
So maybe if they're able to play them around.
Yeah, we'll play them. Go on.
Yeah.
They'll be showing on the screen alongside.
So you can see. So Debbie, to first just answer your question, if you are able to look at that, this is someone asking Wakili AI what they have. So this was from Mr. Geoffrey, who we were doing a demo with him because he really wanted to know what about it. So, and I told him, hey, Mr. Geoffrey, you know, you may have your consent. Yes, he said yes. And so we said, let's see how it works. So as you can see from your screen, you are able to ask a complex question that regardless of what. So to answer on accuracy, Wakili AI is accurate. We have been working with teams of lawyers, teams of all these stakeholders in law who are here to give us their insight, to help us understand what is the legal way of this. And so in matters accuracy, Wakili AI is accurate. It is 99.9 accurate.
Okay.
Again, there is no day that you will get Wakili AI taking you to, that you will ask Wakili AI.
And then gives you something that's wrong.
Yeah, we call that, in the AI, we call it hallucination. So Wakili AI does not hallucinate. We make sure that our systems are checked and they're in the right order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it can handle complex issues clearly.
Yeah.
As you had there. As you had there, and as you've seen from the demo that is on the screen. Developing and maintaining such a sophisticated AI requires a lot of ongoing resource. How's that looking like on your end?
So, well, to answer that, point blank, Wakili AI, we've been operating on our founders' resources. That means we really do not have a lot of, funds and resources to help us do this. And in this aspect, we'd be asking, NGOs, people who are willing to come in good faith and support us to help people to get access to justice. So we are asking for any well-wishers, any donors to, come in and let's talk about how we can make this happen, Yeah.
Okay. So if we are talking about the future of adaptation of Wakili AI, are there some maybe different legal jurisdictions and some challenges you anticipate in adapting this service?
So just to also answer another question that comes hand in hand with the same. So for now, we do not see any. What we have been seeing, we've been seeing that people are quite scared. When you tell them there is AI, and the same question you were asking the first time, is it coming to take my job away?
Yeah, and there's actually another very same question, I'm guessing is from someone who's a lawyer or concerned, Mugeni Nelly, saying what does the future hold for our lawyers when the technology is taking over?
Yes. So let me give a good example. So, when we interact with the lawyers, and this is what lawyers really appreciate our products for. I noticed, you noticed, we had a webinar. We had a free webinar that was the Valentine Times. We're asking them, do you know that the law also talks about you and your family and love life, And so we had these lawyers from the high courts, and we did a free webinar that was educating people. And so even as we work with these lawyers, one of the things they really happen to appreciate about us, think of, I'm a lawyer sitting in the office right now, and then what's the name of that lady who I've asked? Her name is?
Let me get her Nelly.
Yeah, Nelly.
Mugeni.
So Nelly, just to answer you directly, so I'm Nelly and I have a problem at work. My boss has just fired me. He's not following the law, how the whole Employment Act of 2007 says. We had a meeting yesterday night with some folks, and we were having that conversation. What's the law? What's the law take on my employment? And so Nelly texts there and says, I have problems X and Y. Now, you as a lawyer, when you're seated there in the office, you might not have that direct contact to who? to Nelly. So if Nelly asks there and Wakili gives its free consultation, Wakili down there will ask Nelly, would you like to contact a lawyer? So Wakili AI in this B2C model and at the same B2B model, the business model, is able to link Nelly to a lawyer, and this lawyer, in this aspect, let's say it's a case on pro bono, Nelly is able to get access to a lawyer and she's able to get a good representation. So, for instance, I would want to give like Mr. Naftal, our CEO story. So his father gets terminated on work without proper notice. He's being told, wewe mzee, kazi meisha, usireport kesho. You know, these are the very same things. This happens every single time. Look at even the conversation with your landlord. At times, when it's informal, wewe nani, enda nyumbani. You know, leo padlock, tomorrow you don't have a place to go. So Mr. Naftal dads anambiwa, you go home and nothing happens, you know, like nobody's business. So now, if at the time we had Wakili, what would he have done? He would have gone there and asked. And so Wakili is able to, one, link you to also a lawyer, and to link you with also, like, you know, the lawyers that are experts in those fields. Because we also have Wakili for lawyers. If you visit our page, you will notice there is become a recommended lawyer. There are some criteria you need to work on. We've been also working out with these legal bodies and trying to see ways how lawyers will also
be a part of this.
They're already a part of it, but try and revamp it and make sure that you are always able to get a lawyer, which is the case as we are talking. So to Nelly, you can always reach out to a lawyer through that. So it means we are not scaring lawyers away. In fact, we are making them to reach their clients simpler. A good example is when you have like a case, let's say in Samburu. So you have an FGM case in Samburu, and you are a lawyer here in Nairobi or maybe Samburu town. So, you know, Wakili is saving you so much time that you do not need to travel all that distance, but you're able to interact with clients around the country. So this is what the bit that lawyers appreciate, that I'm able to communicate with my clients. So this is through the platform.
Right. Let's now then emphasize, because more of these questions still revolve around the clientele and the products and services that you offer. How do those look like?
So, well, the service that we are offering currently, it's for everyone, and it includes every single person. This is on the B2C, so Wakili is free, and it can help you with any aspect of the law, from drafting a contract, settling a debt payment, business upgrading and upskilling. What do I need? So that's it. And the other one is on the B2B, the business model. This is us and the lawyers, people of the law. And I think we are not here to talk about that much. We are here to talk about Wakili for Good. That is for B2C.
Okay. So for people who want to be testing this out, I'm just reminding them to follow along the conversation while still on the platform, which is wakili.org. And you can also do that on your phone. Check out, log in. I think the process is pretty simple. It's a simple login process and creating of account. And then you can now set your prompts there. Uliza anything whatsoever, and you have a challenge, send it through to us. We get to ask here. Is there a plan to have a Wakili law firm?
Well, there is. Actually, we should say we are the #1 in the world, fastest growing, and the only Wakili AI low tech farm. Yes. So
low tech farm.
Yes, low tech farm. So this is technology and the law. Yes.
Okay. Here is something we've been forwarded. I said we'll be interacting with the audience and with you to try and cover as much of the concerns and questions as possible. Someone is trying to prompt Wakili, as a lady, is it right to get handcuffed during arrest? In a case where this happens, how should I go about it?
So I think she's asking of something we would call it sexual harassment. So, well, the law says you should be arrested if you are a female, by a female, if you are a male, by male. Not only at exceptional circumstances would you not be handcuffed. So yes, but I like that question she has asked. So, for instance,
on the spot, Apple.
Yeah.
Do you tell the police officer to wait for you to check out to talk to your lawyer, or?
You see, when you get arrested, you need to be calm and to be collected. So I want to use another good example. You know, one time I got arrested, you know, along Kiambu Road, traffic issues, and this police is asking for bribes and so much. On the way, she's giving those kinds of examples. Well, at this time, Wakili was not there.
Yeah.
So then, so I said, no, I won't give bribes. My faith doesn't allow me to do so. And so, you know, we went to the court. So he took me there. And so this policeman, we were put OKENYE kwa cells. And so this explains the democratizing to access bit. So when we were there, as you wait for your hearing, so there's this police who comes and tells you, kitu pale mbele, you just go tell the magistrate, I'm sorry, this won't happen again. That's not how the law works. You know, like at times you get, that's why we are talking of democratizing access to justice. So tukakalishwa hapo chini, wanasema kitu hapo mbele, just go, plead guilty, apologize, and that's it. And I knew, I had all the documentations that were being asked of. It's only I didn't have them right away with me. So they take me to court and I said no. So, and when we were seated there, we noticed that every single guy that were arrested, they went and pleaded guilty. Think of even you at home. You have someone at home who got arrested and they went and they pleaded guilty. There's something called appealing. Now you have Wakili AI. You can go and visit them on prison. Rethink of that case, how it happened. Type at Wakili, ask for consultation, you know, and then you'll know what to do and what not to do. So in my case, I went and said, no, I'm not guilty. I have the documents you're asking. And later I came and gave them out. So think of those many Kenyans and those Masais when you wanashikangwa pale, wanapelekwa wanaambia, you just go and say yes. You know, that's what happens in Kenya. Like that's what happens
to something that you haven't done.
Yeah, that's what happens there. You can visit these people in the cells, wakiwa wameshikwa, and also in the prisons. You know, if it's in the prison case and they did not do it right, you can look for appealing again, and Wakil will be here to help you. If you have a loved one behind the bars and they are struggling with appealing, visit them. Make sure your smartphone is on. Ask them, how can we do this case again? And you'll be able to see the procedure of appealing. So that's how we are trying to democratize to justice. Tuseme umeenda nyumbani leo here, you go and visit your folks back at home. And they have those especially home, there is those kinds of land disputes. Huyu amechukua mpaka wako, huyu mwingine. And you see, like, you don't know what to do. Visit there, you know, sit.
Wala kungoja chief, sijui atoke wapi, akuja tuambie nini.
We had a community in Kirinyaga. I think maybe they could be showing the community engagement, because that's bit. We had a community in Kirinyaga. They went and sat down and opened a laptop. And they started asking Wakili, you know, Wakili on the same thing. You know, today most people normally go to chiefs to talk about these aspects of the law. And we also looking for ways, how are we able to empower the chiefs? How are we able to empower these people who are helping Kenyans to access to justice? So that was a team that we were doing with them, the community activation. This is the KU Kusol team and the JKUAT School of Law. By the way, we've been running activations in schools. We've been running activations in the community. To make sure that people get access to justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look at this and wonder.
This is Mama. That is Mama Wamboga there. That lady is Mama Wamboga.
Right.
There is also another lady who came Vasalon. Look at this. This is Mama Mboga. You know. This is our country. The hustler economy. They are wanashindwa law ina apply aje na mimi. But you see, when you come there and tell them, Niaje ma'am, you know what? You won't be needing to struggle. When you have something that's making you crack your head the whole night, there is Wakili. Look at on your smartphone. Right now, in that era of digitalization, everyone owns a smartphone.
Yeah. You see this and you wonder, is this what President Ruto needed a meeting with CJ Kome? Angemtumia tu link. Wakili, this is what we are doing for justice.
Because
I love the public engagement part of it, which is also sensitizing the public about matters of legal and justice. You know, tuko na watu wengi sana who found themselves in situations they don't even know what's going on, and they have no one else to help them, and eventually they are taken advantage of by the gaps that exist there between the system. Kwa hii swali tumetumia, which has helped us tackle a lot of things. The actual question was, there's a network error. I'm just going to show you straight up. There's a network error as they are trying to access. So what happens in this case? So if I have a network error, ama niko koti pale, do I get to call you guys to help me out?
If she's facing a network error, that could be the net on her side. Yes. So Wakili is up and running 24/7, and it's really well maintained. So the generative law is very prompt. So that's the issue with her network. Yeah, you need some good network
internet connection for sure. Jilo Mamu is asking a question I think we've tackled, which is Wakili AI secure? How safe is my data? So maybe you can re-emphasize on that.
If they can show there is the privacy aspect of it. We ensure the highest levels of securing and preserving constitution privacy. We are paramount for our clients. As Wakili, we are dedicated to consistently safeguard our clients' data in alignment with the Kenyan law. The Office of Data Privacy in Kenya has given us that certificate of showing that we are in compliance and that none of your data that you have will ever be shared, with third party. So we have that, and we want to assure our clients and we want to assure the public out there that your data is safe and nothing that we will take care of your confidentiality. Yes.
All right. So user experience and data privacy there, and natural language processing, which I think are the more technical aspects.
So that's talking of the GPT, generative law, and the natural language processing. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk a bit about ethical AI, and then we can come and wrap it up. I just have so many questions to ask you about Wakili AI and also about AI in general. So I'm trying to narrow it down to ensure we are staying within the boundaries of this conversation. But ethical considerations, you've mentioned it earlier, building of ethical AI in addressing potential biases which are there within algorithms, unbiased legal information for users, to ensure fairness in general. How do you think of that? And maybe just a word of advice to anyone else who's building with AI. How can they think about how can they do ethical considerations as they're building AI products?
Well, there is a statement that once read that the world is at cross points of profits and ethical aspect of it. We want to ensure that our clients know that our Wakili AI team is dedicated to giving products that are ethical. These are products that are not dangerous to us. These are products that, even to answer the other question, we have teams of lawyers. We have teams of people who are directly related in this. We call them stakeholders. We have them on board that are always able to vet with us and tell us this is what we can do, this is what we can't do, and this is how the product will be out there for the consumption, so that there is no single day would have an AI. Also this is a wake-up call to other people who are developing AI in all aspects. We are here to make products that, tools for humanity, tools for good, tools that won't distract us, but rather tools that will empower us. The way I said AI, I like to call it a fork, a djembe, that tools that are going to help us to do things faster, than we did before. Tools that, you noticed, the government, and this is on the judiciary part, they launched an e-filing thing for is it yesterday or like in the course of this week? They had something like that. Though that's not AI, but look at it how it's simplifying things. So that's
still a technology product.
Yeah, that's still a technology product. So we as Wakili AI, we are building products that are ethical in nature, and these are products for you and for me. I also use Wakili, you know. Yeah, you know, like I think I'm also one of the number one client. Yeah.
What I see there, and you're going to forgive me and your whole team, is a business opportunity. Kwa sababu mimi najua mimi ni mtu wa Biashara Tuesday, so naangalia mali nataweza pesa. I just go to my village where maybe more than half of them do not have access to smartphones, and then I become their resident or legal consultant. Naambia watu kwa vile nyinyi mkikuwa na issue, nyinyi kujeni, and then when I come to my house, I just have wakili.org. Naambia kaeni hapa respondent and defendant.
You remember the picture that was showing the Madam Chief? This is Chief at Umoja area. Can we get that picture?
It's gonna come up.
So you remember that time, So normally you realize in our many communities, and especially pale nyumbani, what happens when you have a quarrel or a problem with anything, you have you go and meet the chief, you tell the chief this is the problem, and they help you. And you see, to our respective chiefs, these are people who we highly respect, and we know they are there to give a solution. So when I talked to her, I told her, what are some of the things you do normally solve? Unajua kazi ya chief ni solving things hapa na pale. So she told me the kinds of problems she was facing, and then I told her, what was your recent case you had? Then I told her, can we type it here? She said yes. And so she was like, wow, we need to run like an activation for chiefs in the country, so that even when citizens come to us, we are able to do that, you know. And you see, you know, this is what Wakili is saving you. You as a common mwananchi pale, you do not need to flap hiyo kitabu yote ya constitution. You just need to ask what is
said in the constitution about this.
Yes, and what is affecting me directly.
Okay.
You know. So I think that's it. Just to warn you, please don't go to your village and tell them you are a lawyer.
No.
But we would encourage the local community leaders who have access to a laptop or a smartphone to use it as a tool when you go to your village man pale nyumbani, or your senior people there, to ask them for that kind of help. You know, we encourage them, please look at it, what's the consultation. And I also want to give the viewers a challenge. You know, ask Wakili of anything. Ask it Employment Contract Act of 2007, and then ask it and look at the answer it gives you, the consultation that is, and then go and look at what does the constitution say about it. Yeah, to just counter check. That's the good way of proving Wakili is accurate.
Okay, very nice. Thank you very much for that clarification there. And of course, watu wa Kisii mningoja hapo. I'm just coming as a paralegal assistant to the chief.
Please do not be a quack lawyer. I just also wanted to mention
and we
something.
have had those cases.
I also wanted to mention on the same note lawyers. So on our platform, we do not we do have an aspect called become a recommended lawyer. So if I think they're able to show it on the screen. So you can write Wakili AI, and then there's Wakili for lawyers. You can look at there up juu. So once you look at it, you will notice that you can become a recommended lawyer, and in this aspect becoming one, you go there, you sign up. We'll ask you for specific details, and then we will vet you with LSK, the Law Society of Kenya, and all other bodies that are in respect to this, so that we can start thinking of working together.
Sawa sawa, asante sana bro. I have just one last question. Yes. I have so many of them, I think we'll discuss even off air. But I have one which comes from my sister. She's a developer, very serious one at that. And she's watching the show, following through and testing Wakili. Anasema about Wakili, there's no option to clear my history.
So like we said, we ensure that your data, remember I talked about privacy, we ensured that your data is not shared with anyone. The cashier that she gets, it's the conversation between her and the bot. So yes, and if she can try and refresh it, then it won't be there.
Yes.
Yes.
True. refresh alafu utatuambia ni aje. You can also send them all those checks that you've done as a developer, waone kama wanaweza make changes. Thank you very much for creating time for us this morning here to extensively discuss about Wakili
maybe
AI.
if one would want to reach us,
yes,
you
definitely.
can play you can get our contacts.
Yeah, just say it.
You can visit on our website. You look at wakili.org, and also there's an email there, info@wakili.org, and you can send us an email. Our offices are at Kingston Residence along Gong Road. Would be happy to host you. In this aspect, are you a consumer of our product? Would you want to partner with us? Would you want to work with us? Are you even a lawyer? Are you anyone who that you hold the rule of law dearly to your heart? I would ask you to, please come, let's talk. We are very free to have a cup of coffee with you, and let's talk about helping Kenyans to have democratized access to justice. Yes,
right.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana Collins Mwangi. It is 9:52 in the morning, so we've had fun with you on this show. I just want you to finish this show with me as a co-host, kwa sababu we've stayed through to the end. But thank you very much for the conversation about Wakili AI. And as more people check in, maybe in the future with developments, we can have you back to what are the steps that have been made,
Yes.
It's important. And for business people...
Actually, would love to be showing, let people visit our social media. We are in all social media. Look at our community engagement. Would love to, one day have a feature that you can show what are people saying, what are these testimonials.
And maybe have you here and someone else who's used it to access justice. Enough, it will be a good testimonial.
So next time we should have our consumer, a lawyer, and a panel to talk about it now.
Very nice. I love the forward-thinking nature. So because we're closing the show with you, you're going to read us the headline, and then there's usually a quote at the back of the Business Daily when you flip it, at the back left here. But let me just begin with what I have, and then we'll come to you there. The Standard this morning, we couldn't have time for the newspaper review section, but grab yourself a copy of the dailies and see what's happening in your world. The Standard here, the front, the headline that's been prioritized is Infidelity, Murder, and Bizarre Rant. Evans Kosgei made scary remarks about his wife, Jacqueline Kimayo, accusing her of cheating and warned of dire consequences. This happened on social media, actually. If you go on Twitter, I think Evans Kosgei's account is still up. He documented the whole thing from the start to finish, to the time he found his lover was cheating on him. He documented it on Twitter. To the planning that he did to do it also did happen on Twitter. A very sad story that you can read for yourself. Also, this is part of access to justice. So think about that as you also read this. That's what is on the Standard. They have also other stories at the back there on sports. President William Ruto on page 5 about the meeting with MCAs at State House. So a realignment of the structures within the KK government. Hapa chini, there's also, my struggle to get a job after losing my leg, which is touching on people with disabilities, a conversation that we've had here. And the Awareness Day is on Friday. The Daily Nation, which should be shown to you right about now on the screen. The headline there is Licensed to Kill. Impunity of boda riders across the country. I mentioned this earlier when I was starting the show. A law in 2007 which allowed the proliferation of these motorcyclists all across the country. Licensed to Kill is there at the front of the Daily. They're showing a very interesting picture of someone on top of sacks of charcoal. That's the situation with our boda riders. They seem to be the same type of boda rider, whether you're in Kiambu or in Turkana. Maybe that license to kill really could be physical. Haiti police deployment still on, insists CS Kindiki. A story on the government which is supposed to send police officers to Haiti, where violence has now escalated, attacks on airports and other government facilities. And we're supposed to deploy 1,000 officers, all male, who have already been taken through standard operation training. Will they survive? That's a question you should ask yourself as the government prepares for that. Let's get what the Business Daily says. Ebu tusome hapo if you are the co-host.
Oh yes, just to say what you just said, license to kill. We had a time with boda guys, and we trained them on what the law says on the same Gara community. So our boda riders, we want to assure you, we do not want to see these kinds of headlines again. And the family thing you were saying, we had family law, and we trained people on the same. So on Business Daily, today the headline is 400 rural hospitals to reject NHIF cards over 6 billion debt. So
so that's happening in NHIF as we wait for the rolling out of SHIF for the next 3 months. Some private hospitals, actually, all those 400 rural hospitals are private. They will be rejecting NHIF because the disbursement has not been done. The other thing interesting happening within the health system is crisis all across the insurance, which is the new one, SHIF. You will be making premiums but not getting any services up until July. What happens in between there if you... I don't know. CS Nakumicha, I don't know. Interns are yet to be posted. Medics are threatening over a looming strike because of that and more issues which are happening within the health ministry. So because today I was focusing on the positives, I will not speak so much about the Ministry of Health. Let's get the quote at the back of the Business Daily. If you flip just the back, the smack at the back on the right there, last word at your far right. Top right.
Oh, yes. Last word. You know, you do not need mentors, but in the end, you really just need to believe in yourself. Word said by Diana Ross, American singer and actress.
Right. You don't need mentors. You
just need to believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. This week, this has been Biashara Tuesday with me, Richard Okenye. On socials, we are at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Okenye. This particular show comes to you on Monday and Tuesday, KUTV Rise Today. Monday, Art and Culture with Karen Blessing. And then I bring you conversations on business, politics, the economy, and technology, like Wakili AI on Biashara Tuesday. Continue engaging us throughout the week. And I'm wishing you a very successful one. May your jokes be high, but your profits higher so that you can laugh all the way to the bank. I'll see you around.